Hello, everyone. I hope that this weather actually is pretty nice for you guys to enjoy the conversation about interoperability and bridges. So, just a few words about myself. I'm a co-founder and CBDO of CrossCurve, which is a flagship product of AVA cross-chain protocol. CrossCurve is a cross-chain DEX, and I'm also a founder of largest in the space C-level community called Crypto Executives. So today I want to discuss a little bit few problems that we see in DeFi. One of them is fragmented liquidity. So the projects and blockchains that exist currently, they actually have their liquidity fragmented among them. So it's very hard for users to actually move liquidity in between chains, even now. And lack of cross-chain bridges and cross-chain bridge security is another huge problem in DeFi because, like, to be honest, $2 billion were stolen from the bridges within the last few years. I'll be touching on that later. Also, isolated user base. That's one of the problems as well, because each blockchain has its own user base, so the projects do not really try even to go to other chain users and market to them because it's kind of different technology, it's different kind of users, they're all going, like, they are very isolated. We want to change that as well. And complexity. So, like, almost 10 times more text volumes are compared to the DEX volumes. So people prefer to use centralized exchanges because it's just simpler. I mean, you go there, you need to buy a token, you need to swap the token. You don't really need to think which chain the token is traded or which chain the token is operating in. You just go and buy, do it in one click, you receive it, you swap, you trade, you hold. It's really up to you. So we want to change that. And but let's go back a little bit to the bridges and cross-chain security and why it's important. So with orange, you can see the cross-chain bridge hacks. And it's like the scale is in billions of dollars. So you can see that in 2021, there was a hack of $600 million. It was a Ronin bridge hack. In 2022, there were like already $1+ billion were stolen from several bridge hacks, like Harmony protocol, like BNB chain, like BNB protocol. There were a number of others that were actually attacked. So usually there are like two vectors of attacks on the bridges. It's like smart contract. You can see Wormhole, $320 million lost. Nomad bridge, 190. BNB bridge hack was initially 600 million and then they reduced it to 100 million losses. But also a consensus and multisig hack. So this includes Ronin bridge, this includes Harmony bridge, this includes also the largest in the space multi-chain bridge, which was up like in TVL of few $1 billion, and it was also attacked from the multisig side. So how the bridges are actually secured? So there are different approaches. There is a multi-chain approach, which basically works on a direct one-to-one transfer, which was attacked from the consensus protocol side, despite they were claiming to have 21 validators. Torchain, it utilizes the mint and burn mechanics of their own token. Our AWA version 1, our own bridge, the most decentralized bridge, we were utilizing like 150 validators to request the transaction. So this is basically AMM type bridges. And like Binance's centralized exchange, you can also move the funds in between the chains if you want to. So centralized cross-chain data protocols work through centralized entities. So when multi-chain was claiming to have 21 validators, actually, you know, even looking through the validator names, you can see Ahmed with a smile. And to me, it was not very trustworthy, despite they had like billions dollars in TVL. So what happened later, it's that they got hacked, they say, or the founder got hacked, or founder just took the money out of protocol, and that was the end of multi-chain. Decentralized cross-chain protocol, it's actually the protocol where founders and team cannot retrieve the money from the protocol. It's actually trustless solution supposed to be protected by large number of decentralized validators. However, we believe that in current market, it's almost impossible to compete with layer 0, which raised 200 to $300 million at $3 billion valuation. You cannot compete with Axelar, you cannot compete with Chainlink CCIP, you cannot compete with Wormhole, which is backed by Jump. Yeah, so when they got hacked for $320 million, the next day Jump just paid it back in Solana, right? So, and to be honest, when you cannot compete with them and bridges are efficient as the amount of liquidity that they have, what we believe we need to create a solution where we actually create a consensus of all those major bridges. So even if layer 0 is hacked, the guys who are actually providing liquidity for our protocol, and most importantly, big whales that are moving liquidity between chains, like they are secured. If 2 bridges out of these 5 are hacked, they also will be secured, which is almost impossible to be layer 0 and Wormhole hacked in one day. So that's why we believe that it's very important for the cross-chain security to implement our solution, which is basically a solution of official bridge of Curve. Curve finances the largest DEX in the world, so you know. So that's why we also created a flagship product called Curve. Curve has $2 billion in liquidity. With this solution, protected by security of AVA consensus protocol, we bring in, we create a unified cross-chain market from different blockchains. Together, it's $2 billion. So user experience will be like one-click solution. That's what they want. They don't want to go on different bridges, change. And we enable low slippage cross-chain swaps of any assets. Liquid stake tokens, they're very hyped up. Who heard here about liquid stake tokens, guys? Anyone? So, but who heard how easy you can swap liquid stake tokens between the chains? Like if you minted the ST-ETH on Arbitrum, how easy it is to move it to Polygon? Like, you don't think about it yet, right? What about pair of ST-ETH to ETH, right? Curve pair. You cannot really move it. So that's what we don't only move the assets, we also move LP pairs. LP pairs of Curve can be 8 stable coins, right? 8 stable coins in one pool. They can be exchanged to one another, and we can move it between the chains. So cross-chain listing for projects. Like, who knows the project that was listed on, let's say, PancakeSwap, right, in BNB chain. So where they will be traded? Only BNB. Against which currency? Or against which token? USDT. That's it. No one else with USDC can buy it. No one else with DAI can buy it. We allow cross-chain listing for projects that can be bought from any chain with any asset that Curve supports. So what we believe that will happen is that, yeah, guys, I have problem with slides. All right, let me just continue without it. What we believe that this solution can bring to the decentralized world, right? In my opinion, the DEXs currently are only 10% of centralized exchanges. So when you let the cross-chain DEX to flourish with liquidity, to flourish with security of interchain communication, to flourish with efficiency, to allow for one-click solution, to allow for the projects to be listed on any chain against any token and being traded against any other token in any other chain. Like trader can buy the token of the project that lists against USDC in Polygon with WETH from Ethereum chain, with WBTC from Avalanche, and will be completely okay. So this creates a cross-chain DEX environment, which, as per, for example, like major VCs that we are in talks with, potentially could be the cross-chain solution of the next bull run. So, and those problems with $2 billion of lost liquidity, like some people think liquidity, it's not money. It is money, right? So $2 billion were stolen from the bridges. Our primary concern is to make it secured. If we can make it secured by... Yes, I know, it's stuck. So if the $2 billion in liquidity in a cross-curve solution creates efficiency, then AVA, as a consensus protocol that aggregates Axelar layer 0 and Chainlink and all the major bridges in one solution, including even potentially the AVA cross-chain protocol in the future, which is secured by 150 validators. So all this creates a space in a decentralized environment where the bridges are actually secured. So $2 billion will not be stolen in the future. That's what we can guarantee, I would say, with some certainty, because if our bridge is secured and protected by the properly done audits, with the properly done security checks, and at the same time the consensus level of the decision making of the data protocol is aggregated on the consensus level from layer 0, Stargate, Axelar, and Wormhole, and Chainlink, CCIP, and other major bridges, then you create an unhackable bridge, right? So, apologies for the slides. I think the tech just failed. But I want to conclude on one important aspect, how I can see the future, right? So the future, I see that the people do not rush to centralized exchanges for making swaps. That especially the large whales and liquidity providers that moves millions and tens of millions of dollars and maybe hundreds of millions of dollars, they can go on chain and do it securely and quickly within one click. So which project and which bridge they will use the most trusted and the most secured bridge for that. So when I was speaking with big hedge funds with hundreds of millions of dollars under management, they were telling me that the one problem they have all faced is a security of the bridges, security of centralized exchanges. They all lost money, all of them, on FTX, or nearly lost money, because they were moving funds. They were retrieving it after that, but they were moving funds through FTX. So FTX failed. What can happen to the multi-chain? Multi-chain also failed, right? So if you create the cross-chain DEX that is secured, that's what's going to be used by the future decentralized. I think it started to work now. So yeah, I talked a little bit about the future. This is decentralized and efficient. This is the vision. And obviously, if anyone would like to connect me on Telegram, that's my Telegram. Email as well. And again, thank you for listening to New Era of Cross-Chain Interoperability. Really happy hearing all of you guys here, and thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Faraj. Such an amazing speech.